It's great to be able to introduce to you Brad Jones. Brad is the Executive Director of Visit Bellevue, which is an arm of Meydenbauer Center that serves as Bellevue's official destination marketing and management organization. Put in layman's language, their job is to bring people to Bellevue to spend money. Brad has spent 25 years as an executive director in various convention and visitors bureaus. Most recently, spent 13 years as the director at Enterprise or Experience Rochester in Rochester, Minnesota. He spent another 10 years in Mackinac, Michigan, doing the same thing. He was born and raised in Michigan. He has a BA in hospitality management with degrees in food service management and culinary arts marketing from Ferris State University. He's been married to Shelley for 27 years, has two children, Samantha, who is 21, and Max, who's 19. He's an Eagle Scout and a former hockey player himself. He's been a coach and a USA hockey official and has spent a lot of time teaching high school and youth hockey and lacrosse teams. He served on numerous boards and commissions and organizations over his career and currently serves on the board of directors of the Washington State Destination Marketing Association, a group of executives in that field who are struggling mightily to figure out how to get the industry reopened for business. He's been with us at Meydenbauer for 2 years and is doing a terrific job. And I want to have you give Brad Jones a warm Rotary welcome. Thanks, Brad.
Great, thank you very much. Hopefully you can all hear me, and I'm going to switch to my PowerPoint and kick things off. So thank you for being here today. And I want to take some time to introduce you all to our organization, Visit Bellevue. Thank you, Bob, for your kind introduction and for your ongoing leadership and support. Bob chairs the Bellevue Convention Center Authority, which to which Visit Bellevue is part of. And I'd like to also give a shout out to any of our other amazing community members who are out there who serve on our advisory board as well. I'm not sure who all of you are, but I recognize a couple names out there. So thank you very much for having me. It's great to be with Rotary. I was 13-year Rotarian back in Minnesota, and really love the organization. And someday I'll probably get back into it here in Bellevue. So, and before I start, I'd like to just recognize to you all and everybody listening that, you know, in March, a lot of the plans and strategy in our entire hospitality industry as a whole really has been shaken to its very core right now. But for the purposes of this overview and presentation, I just wanted to save that pandemic discussion till the end. I think it's important to hear our plans, our strategy, what we're up to. And while we certainly understand that many programs and items that you're going to hear about today may be on pause or hold due to the pandemic, we know that there's brighter days ahead, and when we are recovered, we'll put these plans back in action and back on our feet, so to speak. What is Visit Bellevue? Basically, Visit Bellevue, as Bob said, serves as Bellevue, Washington's official destination management organization. Our mission at Visit Bellevue is to stimulate economic growth and development by increasing visitor, convention, meeting business, and inspiring memorable visitor experiences. We couldn't do it without many of our community and our strategic partners. I'd like to acknowledge several of them: the City of Bellevue elected and staff members, Bellevue Chamber, Downtown Association, Washington Tourism Alliance, Port of Seattle, all those great industry partners that we work with every day are very important. And we really strive to be the collective mouthpiece, if you will, for our hotels, attractions, restaurants, retailers, meetings and convention, all of our hospitality businesses. Why is this important? Tourism and hospitality is very important to Bellevue. It's our third largest industry segment. We sustain nearly 14,000 jobs. Direct spending and economic impact created by visitors not only provides diverse and needed revenue streams, but really also supports and contributes greatly to our overall quality of life that we all enjoy in Bellevue. Our economic circle of life really starts by attracting visitors and strategic events to Bellevue. This enables us to raise the perception and awareness of Bellevue. Along the way, continually managing and developing Bellevue as a destination, and then enhancing that visitor experience and really raising our overall quality of life. In 2019, Bellevue hosted 2.1 million overnight visitors. They spent nearly $700 million and created an overall economic impact of $1.8 billion. We have a 3-year vision to really grow Bellevue's overall economic impact, visitor economic impact, to $2 billion. This vision was really developed by our community in 2017 in partnership with a company called Resonance Consultancy. They were hired and brought in, and this plan that was developed with the community and Resonance was officially adopted to by the city of Bellevue and the Bellevue Convention Center Authority in 2018. And part of it's really one of the cornerstones of the city's economic development plan. Being tasked with the implementation of this really large and encompassing plan is no easy job, but together with a common commitment, a growth in funding, staffing, and organizational governance, Visit Bellevue quickly rolled up our sleeves and went to work in 2018. The steering committee and community workshops were really based on future growth. And that's what's really intriguing to a lot of people is the growth opportunities that exist for our industry in Bellevue. Initially, the community came up with 39 initial recommendations. They were refined and prioritized down to 18 recommendations after several surveys, considerations, and analysis. In 2018, Visit Bellevue officially made the commitment to become really a full-service destination management organization, and we began to operationalize, organize, and align community priorities into what we refer to as our organizational strategic plan. After our strategic plan was developed and approved in late 2018, we began to reorganize Visit Bellevue staff into 3 functional departments: our sales department, our visitor experience department, and our marketing and communications department. Along with our staffing reorganization, we adopted new oversight and governance structure with the reorganization and formalization of a new Visit Bellevue advisory board, subcommittee structure, and new industry councils, which we would use to better connect and inform and align with our stakeholder groups throughout the community and the region. Visit Bellevue has also implemented an extensive new market research program. We invested in purchasing and collecting detailed tourism and market data to inform, monitor, and measure our efforts. This kind of best-in-class data and knowledge has transformed us. We now have solid information and profiles as to who our visitors are, where they come from, their spending habits, media and communication preferences, and their travel needs and expectations. Together with the City of Bellevue and our hospitality tourism industry partners, Visit Bellevue now is officially 18 months into the implementation or activation of the Bellevue Destination Development Plan. Activation has included the development and implementation of several new programs in all of our 3 functional areas. Future program activation includes programs around cleanliness, safety, security, and walkability, festivals and events, cultural tourism, visitor information centers, visitor asset activation, development of new attractions and packaging, and visitor and transportation circulation. Longer term programs align really with city priorities like destination placemaking, Bellred, Spring District, and Eastgate districts, mass transit, light rail expansion, the East Rail, Grand Connection, Maidenbauer Center expansion, and really generating new demand for our new supply. A lot of you probably don't know that Bellevue is expecting about 2,000 new hotel rooms in the next few years to be built. And we have to generate demand to fill that new supply and maintain a healthy business environment for those new companies that are coming. And new attraction development is also very important. So after this destination development plan, really our 5 strategic priorities are, as you can see, attracting overnight visitors. Bob put that very well. Maximizing visitor spending, branding Bellevue, which we'll talk a little bit about, developing and enhancing the visitor experience, managing the destination development plan. And now 1A is really providing support and recovery of COVID-19 and this health and economic crisis that we're in. And it's really hit our industry right between the eyes, and we'll talk about that too. We do have some key goals as part of this plan, and those goals include increasing overnight visitors by 14%, increased visitor spending by 15%, and as I mentioned earlier, really making our industry a $2 billion industry in Bellevue. So one of our first departmental areas is sales. And in 2019, we used this opportunity to really optimize and grow our sales programs. This included the investment of new prospecting and lead generation partnerships, adoption of new CRM systems, sponsorship programs, digital bid proposal systems, and prioritization of new business. What this really means to you outside of the business is we're really hunting for new meetings, conventions, and events to bring to Bellevue. This is a cornerstone of our sales initiatives. And the result was astounding. There's a lot of interest in Bellevue and continues to be a lot of interest in Bellevue. We had a historic year last year, far exceeding all previous years. The team generated over 300 leads and booked nearly 65,000 total room nights for future years. A record high. About 78% increase over the previous year. So interest is good, was good, and we expect it to be good after COVID settles down and gets us back on a normal trajectory. Mentioned branding, and one of the highest priorities in the destination development plan was the creation of a dynamic travel brand for Bellevue. So kind of reframing our narrative as a destination is very timely because Bellevue, as you all know, is on one of the greatest verges of evolutions as our city continues to grow, develop, and gain new businesses and residents and workers and attractions. So a strong destination brand really allows our community to compete globally in articulating and differentiating our unique characteristics as a visitor destination is very, very important. And so our team partnered with Cubic Creative to create a new image and plan for our destination through a multi-step 10-month process. And the final product was based upon a lot of data, research, and extensive feedback collected and threaded together to position Bellevue really in a new way as the Puget Sound's premier preferred meetings, convention, and leisure destination. Here's a brief video I'll play you about the new brand.
Bellevue, Washington encompasses the beauty and restorative power of the outdoors, the anticipation and excitement of world-changing ideas, the sensory exploration of fashion, art, and culturally inspired cuisine. We are a premier destination built by futurists, rooted in the spirit of the Pacific Northwest, placing every visitor on the verge of creativity, innovation, and style, where the allure of aspiration touches everyone we meet. For a global audience seeking a collection of elevated experiences, bring yourself to the edge. Bellevue, Washington. Welcome to the edge.
So as you can see in our brand video, we're introducing this new concept of Bellevue's assets really straddle the edge. We're a planned and pristine community with really a modern urban appeal, elevated experiences, and filled with adventure. This concept really takes ownership of the word edge, and it redefines it uniquely as Bellevue. Really a sharp boundary of convergence where innovative tech, style, outdoor adventure, and culinary meet. So as we project this into the future, we have taken a new marketing plan to the street. And if you can imagine, we started launching this in January of this year, and we got to the first part of March, and launching a new brand and marketing plan during COVID has been very challenging, and it's added to the challenge of what we're dealing with. So some elements of this have been put on pause, but we did take this opportunity to introduce this new brand and marketing plan, and we'll walk through some of that. You can see our new creative styles, and again, we use this edge, and we talk about the edge of innovation. We talk about the edge of culinary and dining. We talk about the edge of wonder and outdoors, outdoor activity, which is very popular right now in the summertime. So our new destination identity and innovative communication strategy really was crafted to meet the changing needs of Bellevue and bring its personality to life. This kind of well-articulated destination brand strategy strengthens our community's sense of place because it really, I think, unites the city and aligns our messaging as we use communicating tools with others. You can see some of this is different and new, and it really kind of pops off the page. And we have a seasonal approach to our creativity and our creative elements. You can see that we launched this winter into some winter time activities, and we'll continue taking kind of a seasonal approach to our creative assets. February 2020 brought the launch of our new website, visitbellevuewa.com. Our new best-in-class website is fully responsive. It's reflective of our destination brand and a great example of our city's innovative spirit. The website is a cornerstone of our digitally focused marketing strategy, built with best practices in search engine optimization and user experience design to really engage potential travelers and drive business to the city. In 2019, we also were very excited to develop and implement a new destination communications plan. This plan was designed to advance Bellevue's strategies and really, as I say, drive awareness and visibility to the city. We purposefully started this initiative to focus on growth in earned media, social media, and utilization of influencers as positive third-party contributed content. In 2019, we well exceeded our communication goals. We were able to obtain nearly 300 pieces of earned media, which had a publicity value of almost $500,000. Also in 2019, we generated 150,000 combined engagement in our social media channels and over 100,000 website users. Our digital focus doesn't really neglect our traditional mediums that many of our customers still find valuable when planning trips. We have partnered with Madden Media to craft a brand new Bellevue Visitor's Guide that's printed and digital that you can download on our website. This helps differentiate us among other destinations in our region and is distributed throughout our region and the I-5 corridor. We also partnered with Meetings and Conventions Magazine, a national magazine, to produce a Bellevue Meeting Planner's Guide. So any of you who would like a visitor guide or in the business of meetings, we have a guide specifically for industry professionals. In June, we were glad to introduce a new addition to our communications program, a digital e-zine. That's an electronic magazine. It's called Aspire by Visit Bellevue. Aspire showcases really places to eat, drink, play, and stay for a perfect Bellevue adventure and provides added inspiration for people to visit our city. This Aspire by Visit Bellevue is distributed by email on a quarterly basis and we have professionally developed editorial features and very powerful photography that we showcase in this each quarter. At the cornerstone of our new strategy is what we call visitor experience. And in 2020, prior to the pandemic, we had big plans to take our visitor experience to new heights as we really prepared for a new decade. We're making investment into our professionals, our products, and services that really make our industry go. Some programs got off the ground with successful implementation, and some have been postponed until after our industry returns to some semblance of normalcy. In 2019, we began implementing the Bellevue Tourism Ambassador Program. This is designed to equip our industry professionals with proper knowledge, tools, and resources to best serve guests and provide elevated, fantastic visitor experiences. We encourage everybody to become a CTA. This new program teaches best practices and how to work together and create positive experiences. Classes are held each month, after which CTAs are invited to events, networking, and activities, and educational events to keep them in the know. Also, one of our big plans this summer that had to be postponed, but we count on bringing back someday, was to test a new visitor shuttle to develop and expand the tourism industry in and around Bellevue and improve that overall circulation. The new service, to be called the Bellhop, was going to be a complimentary hop-on, hop-off shuttle service Friday, Saturday, and Sundays throughout the summertime, June, July, and August, on a nonstop basis from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., circulating between 10 stops, delivering visitors and guests to many of our visitor attractions. So again, we look forward to sharing more information about this when we're brought to some normalcy and can relaunch this hopefully next summer, but we'll see what the future brings to us. But this is a good example of future programming that we have our sights set on. Just this week, we've launched a new tour and passport program. The new Brew Through Bellevue Beer Passport is a free digital gamified passport where you get incentives at area breweries. And in the next 2 weeks, we'll launch the Bellevue by the Barrel, which is a wine tasting passport. So this digital technology allows us to build and deliver passports and incentives to visitors. Very soon, we'll launch a culinary food tour and an attractions passport for our guests as well. Lastly, and in some regards, most importantly, based upon all the networking that goes on at Rotary, please understand that Visit Bellevue has recently switched from a membership program to a partnership program. This means that virtually every business in Bellevue and our regional tourism organizations have a complementary partnership that they can engage with us on. And we encourage everybody to use our platforms and systems to amplify their business's message. If you're in the visitor or hospitality business, it's simple, it's easy to become involved and utilize all of what we're doing and be part of this strategic plan. Now the bad stuff. A little bit about COVID and the impacts to our industry. It was quick and it's been devastating. Probably hospitality and tourism has been hit the hardest. I know you've probably heard that from other industries, but I'm here to tell you that our industry, the worst thing that can possibly happen is a global pandemic, and we're feeling that each and every day. As I say, well, the overall economy is in a recession. The travel industry is in a deep depression. At 51% unemployment, it's double the worst year of the Great Depression. So we continue to feel that. Really through the end of 2020, the U.S. Estimates over $500 billion in losses for the travel industry. As far as Visit Bellevue, we have been forced to greatly reduce our staff and budget by nearly 60%. In Bellevue, we expect to lose $285 million in visitor spending this year, projected loss of $435 million in visitor spending overall in 2020. Business and corporate travel is less than 10% of normal. International travel is really paused. and convention and meetings and events are pretty much at a pause as well until we get to phase 3 and 4. As I said, we've lost $362 million in overall impact year to date, and we're projected to lose $975 million in economic impact during 2020. Our recovery, which we hope is coming soon, we know will probably look more like a Nike swoosh than a U, but we continue. Really, the important thing for our organization is to continue to support the community and our stakeholders with information, resources, and tools that they need, which we're doing on a daily basis. This includes accurate and up-to-date information as it really pertains to the impending recovery and for our industry. Right now, what we're seeing is phased reopening and eased restrictions. We're seeing hotel occupancy grow slowly. At our deepest point of depression, it was 9%. And currently today, we sit at about 20%, a little more than 20%. We should be at about 85% today in a normal summer day. We do see some growing airline capacity coming online, including some international, which is good to see. Consumer trip planning is coming back. People will have some pent-up demand, but really we need to get people back to business. Business travel and corporate travel means a lot to Bellevue, and getting people back to business is essential to our recovery. And then we expect to see international travel and meetings, convention and events toward the end of this year and recovering into Q1 of 2021. So that's the bad news. I do have one last video just to remind you of some of the things that we're doing.
Bellevue is a place that doesn't look back often. By nature, it's a city built by futurists. Our history, our DNA, and our global impact is driven by our aspiration to be the center of innovation and world-changing ideas. Our aspiration to be inspired by the restorative power of the outdoors. Our aspiration to be on the edge of beauty, art, and style. As we look boldly toward the future, Bellevue's hospitality industry will continue to propel our community forward, making it a vibrant place to live, to work, and to play. In 2019, our community hosted a record-breaking 2.2 million overnight visitors, offering them a world-class experience, an increase of 145,000 visitors from 2018. To put that in perspective, we welcomed the entire metropolitan statistical area of Austin, Texas. Overnight visitation to Bellevue generated 1.5 million overnight hotel rooms sold for our hotel partners, and occupancy rate remained steadfast at 70%, peaking at 85% in July. Visit Bellevue's convention sales and service team booked a record-breaking 64,000 rooms, an increase of 78% from the previous year. As visitors experience our destination, Visit Bellevue and our partners are creating a dynamic travel economy. Last year's visitors spent $700 million in our community, an increase of $45 million in direct spending from 2018. Visitors also contributed $82 million to Bellevue's tax coffers and offsetting the burden to local residents. The overall economic impact of visitor spending, $1.8 billion. The power of tourism can be felt throughout our community, and Visit Bellevue is committed to its 2020 strategic vision, ensuring we rise to every opportunity that will help us elevate our position in region. We began to reframe our narrative in 2019, finding our identity and telling a story that is uniquely our own, a city truly on the edge, heralding that message to nearly 800 million people through our marketing and public relations efforts, charging forward into the new decade, our aspiration, being the Pacific Northwest's premier destination.
Thank you. We do have one question here. Is Brew Through Bellevue up? If so, need a better SEO because I can't find it.
I'm sorry?
There's a question, one question from the group. Is Brew Through Bellevue up?
Brew Through Bellevue is brand new. It was launched just yesterday, so it's live on our website, yes.
Cool. Great to know. One other, didn't have any other questions, but I'll throw one out for you. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on the impact of light rail as getting finished up and will be operational here in a couple of years, how that might impact the Visit Bellevue narrative.
Great question. Light rail, we expect to have a profound effect on Bellevue. Specifically, we think in focus grouping visitors and talking with visitors that they're going to be able to use Bellevue more as a hub and really stay here and enjoy Bellevue and be able to easily get to Seattle, Redmond, and other areas on the light rail. It will alleviate a lot of transportation concerns. We learned in 2018 through our data and research phase that visitors get somewhat frustrated with transportation here, ground transportation. And so we expect that light rail will certainly help. I'll just use one example. As we host professional sports fans, and the experience of being able to stay in Bellevue and enjoy Bellevue and hop on the light rail to get to the stadiums will be a game changer for us. So that's just one example. Meetings, conventions, and people that do business downtown Seattle, but like to stay in Bellevue, we've heard a lot from them as well.
Great, great, very good. Thank you very much for your informative presentation. It's great to hear about things that are coming in Bellevue and about getting back to normalcy again as well. So thank you so much. We are making a donation in your honor to Harvest Against Hunger, which provides 1,500 pounds of fresh fruit and produce to local food banks. And that's in your name. Thank you again for your presentation.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, next week's program is Ezra Tesholm from Rotary. He'll be speaking about Rotary's efforts to eradicate polio. As you know, that's been a major initiative of Rotary over the years, and so it'll be interesting to see what he has to say about that. That's all we have for today. Thanks to our production team here, Jeffrey Van Gogh and Louisa Collad, helping us put this on today, and for other folks who are involved today, Glenn with the social at the beginning. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and this meeting is adjourned.